everyone, welcome back to SportsKhabri. With me is Rishi, and we're here to preview this very, very important game as it's turned out to be between the Royal Challengers Bengaluru and the Chennai Super Kings at Chinnaswamy on a Saturday evening. Rishi, everything has gone right. Every single thing. LSG had to lose one or two games. They already lost to the Delhi Capitals. SRH has gone through. So it's all down to RCB CSK. There's nothing else in the equation. It's simple, clear in front of you.
Wait, so there's no condition of winning by 18 runs?
There is. Of course, there is. That's the only
Okay.
thing left. So if RCB have to go through, they need to beat CSK by 18 runs or finish the chase by 18.1 overs.
What if this one is like, what if SRH loses or
No, it won't matter because SRH are on 15 points because they got a point yesterday. So it wouldn't matter for RCB. So it's simple. CSK have to win, RCB have to win. And yeah, there's nothing else I think that matters.
Rahul, if I asked you 1 month ago if realistically RCB would qualify, what would you say?
I would say RCB.
Towards the end of that KKR loss.
Oh, no, 100%. I mean, reasonably, no way I would have said that RCB would be in this position. But I think I'm one of those RCB fans who was very hopeful and optimistic regardless of what the situation is. So even when, like we've spoken already previously, and we have a hardcore fan amongst us, an RCB supporter, even he went to the extent of saying there's zero chance of RCB qualifying. But yeah, I still felt like that there's, as long as mathematically you're not out, you can still make it. Things have to go your way, and sometimes they do. And clearly, it's happened for RCB. So yeah, got it. Yep. I think Adi's also joining us. Yeah, what's up, Adi? Before we start, I ask Adi about RCB CSK. Rishi, I know this means a lot to you because it's probably Dhoni's last game if CSK end up losing. Going into this match, are you fearful of RCB, especially because a lot of things haven't worked for
First
CSK?
of all, who said that I want CSK to win?
I mean, would you not want to see Dhoni bat again?
I mean, if I get to go watch the game live, and I get to see a Dhoni play out a few balls, I'm more than happy. I'm more than content with that. I mean, and pretty much towards the end of last season, I had come to terms with the fact that Dhoni is retiring and it's done. So anything I got after that, I've considered it a bonus. So I've seen Dhoni play his heart out. My heart is full, so I couldn't ask for anything more. And moreover, like, I tend to not like CSK more. And like I said, like we've had the discussion before, and I've always told that it's not that I don't have any hatred towards RCB. It's more that when they lose, the memes that follow, the outcry that comes is just entertaining to watch. I don't have anything towards RCB. So if anything, I would want them to go through in this fixture.
Okay. But where do you think this game is won or lost?
The spinners, to be really precise. Because I feel in the spin department, CSK will have an upper hand when it comes to Jaddu and Moeen Ali, especially the middle overs, because you've seen Rajat Patidar so far has been extremely attacking of the spin. And I'm assuming he will come towards the end of the power play as well, or sometimes in the middle of the power play. Like the most probably than not, he will be facing most of the spinners. So it comes, at least from a CSK perspective, it'll come down to how much they can control or contain Rajat Patidar when it comes to spin. And for an RCB perspective, how much contribution? See, we've all known that RCB, except one or two odd games, they can't control the run flow as much. So it's all about how much each batter can contribute. More than a one-man show, it would take more than at least two batsmen to contribute significantly towards this scoreline.
Adi, big news, of course, is Will Jacks is not in the camp, and it looks like Glenn Maxwell is going to replace him. For me, I think the game will be won or lost there. It'll be how bigger of an impact Glenn Maxwell has on this game, not only with the bat but with the ball as well. Where do you think it's won or lost for RCB?
I mean, bro, to be fair, it's more about the mentality. I feel like it comes down to that. I mean, you can always say, CSK have a better squad overall in terms of the starting level. Their bowling, they can control a bit more. But I just feel like this is going to be like a one-off game. You can take this as a playoff itself, right? So you have to consider it in a playoff situation where it's do or die. So it's all about the mentality, the way you play those certain difficult moments. I feel like it's just going to come down to that. Because we can't really look at the entire season and put down to this, because both teams have been pretty much on par in terms of, results. Like, CSK also had bad results. RCB had a lot of bad results in the beginning. For me, I look at this as a playoff game. I look at it as a mentality thing. You know, I have to look at how Maxwell comes back again, how he performs based on, again, like if there's a tough situation, where does he play patiently? Does he just go like however he goes always? So it's about, again, their mentality, the way they take it forward. I still feel like RCB's bowling has improved over the past 4 5 games, right? Uh, that's the thing. It's weird because like you look at CSK, their batting has been kind of weak over the past few games, and RCB's bowling has improved, and their bowling is pretty decent, right? While RCB's batting is good. So this is going to be a battle of batting and bowling, as it is always. It just depends on if it depends on the toss. I feel like that is also going to be very crucial tomorrow, because see, firstly, whether we don't know how it's going to work out. If we even have like a full game, 20 over game, or will it be 10 over game, 15 over game? We never know. So toss will be crucial. And the way they start, for example, if RCB are put under pressure by batting first, it just depends on how they bat well and how they play the power plays, etc. So it's going to come down to that itself.
I agree. I think the toss, Rishi, will make a huge difference because you'd want to be chasing in a game where rain is expected. Because if DL does come in to play and you need to, you're just in a better position if you know the equation charts before the second inning starts. Keeping that aside, um, is there anything else that you think is very critical in this game? I mean, one thing I actually wanted to discuss as well are the Chinnaswamy wickets, which have been very varied throughout the course of the season. It's been very interesting because we've not got this from the Chinnaswamy in previous years. This year it looks like the curators have done something different. There have been wickets which have been dry. There have been wickets which have left, which had some grass left on them, quite a bit actually. Some of them had patches of grass. So what sort of a wicket are you expecting tomorrow? Because I, for one, feel like, I don't know why, but the grassy wicket, I think it was against GT, really, really paid off for us. I think that was our best bowling performance. And because of even our part-timers like Cameron Green can hit the deck hard, and they can use the grass on the wicket. So what kind of pitch would you like to see going into this game?
I think from on RCB perspective, you can pretty much say not so. Actually, now that they've lost, CSK have lost Patirana also, the pace isn't there. It's more of just skidding from the wicket, like if they had Patirana, you could say that like they would want quickish wicket. So RCB would tend to slow down and have a few grass patches here and there. But at this point, the bowling pretty much seems, at least the pace attack seems pretty much on par, except Simarjeet has been on fire for CSK. Whereas RCB, like you said, they have been the green patches against GT has been really good for in their favor. I think that has to be one of their best bowling performances all season. So I think really we should just like continue going with what they've been doing well. So I don't think, at least from the last 2 3 games, they should vary as much, because you saw earlier on when the wickets were slightly flat, slightly roadish, they were getting sent left, right, center. The spinners were also not able to get into the game. They were not able to affect the game so much. So I like, again, like RCB have been able to navigate spin like lately well. So I think even if the tracks were to be slightly green, they can navigate it better than the CSK players.
The last game also was very interesting, Adi, because I think it was Rajat Patidar who said after the first innings that the ball was sticking to the surface. It was holding up. And is that another route that they might want to take? But you might be playing into CSK's hands because they've got more of those bowlers who can bowl cutters and take pace off the ball versus RCB. What sort of a wicket do you think we should go with? Because, I mean, do you think they're hoping for at least?
Dude, that's the thing. I feel like both ways,
Or just make it a road. One nice little road for Virat to just mash on.
That's the problem. But then I feel like I'm scared of that more, because then I think people like Darren Mitchell, Dubey can actually play well.
Yeah, that's true.
Even someone like Jadeja can also score runs, because if it's very flat, I feel like the advantage they can take is just more than RCB. And I feel like Rachin Ravindra also showed that in the World Cup, how he can play through those wickets. And if he's also going to play Gaikwad, I think they have a competent lineup for them to bat through it. But you can look how they struggle through slow pitches, even like CSK itself. Like, I don't think if you have a slow pitch, I feel like players like, Gaikwad won't go on top, like, from the beginning. Even Rachin Ravindra, especially Dubey, I don't think he'll be able to play it off the go. And I think that helps us, even with Mitchell. Like, they take time. So I feel like a slower wicket is going to help. But also, I'd rather chase the game tomorrow than bat.
100%.
Yeah, because I actually want to put them under pressure if we can, get a bowling tight and restrict them to a lower score. I just feel like RCB will be better off chasing tomorrow's game because
100%.
you
And
know
if
how
there
the
is rain, I think 100% you just have to be chasing. So
yeah, regardless, I feel like it because I feel like RCB can chase better in this sense because again, you have a set target of like we have to chase it around 18 overs anyways. And I don't know how it will happen if it's a 10-over game or 12-over game or whatever it is,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
So firstly, you need to expect it to be like a full-fledged game where because NRL is going to work for us because now this is the only way to qualify this. We have to chase within 18.1 overs if I'm not wrong,
yeah,
whatever
yeah,
they said.
yeah.
But actually, to be fair, even if you bat like what is it, 23 runs,
18 runs.
18 runs, 18 runs.
Yeah.
Actually, then that changes because like if you can score a huge,
Either way, I think it's whatever. Like you just have to do it.
but bro, like imagine.
Now, 18 runs is actually a huge margin. Like every
It
T20
is,
game,
but
more often than not, they go down to like within the 10-run gap,
no,
or
I
it goes
agree.
down to the
I
wire
agree.
of like the
But
19th over at least. So
I
it's a
if you
agree.
score
significant.
like 200 odd and then you can get them
Yeah.
off for early, it's a less
Exactly.
pressure than chasing it in 18 overs. Imagine if
No, but
CSK scored 200. We have to chase
but
it
we
in
can't
18
take that risk because of the rain factor. I don't think RCB can take that risk, but you can take that risk while chasing. Even if
But
the overs are reduced and
for
you at
example,
least know what you need to do.
but then if they score like 200, 220, you have to chase it in 18 overs and it's not 20 overs. So it's actually a different this thing
Yeah,
because you
true,
don't
true.
have
That
Yeah,
that is also
especially if
that is
rain
something your
comes, then
bowlers have
it's
to do
going to
well.
come down to say somewhere between like 110 in like 8 overs or something like
I
that.
don't think CSK is scoring 200 tomorrow. I just feels like their batting isn't
But it's
miles
a
ahead.
stadium, like you can expect anyone to score. But that's the
True,
thing.
true.
For example, if it's going to be a very good batting surface tomorrow, which actually I don't expect it also because I think they're going to use like the previous two pitches, whatever you use, they're going to use that. But when I think about it, including NRR, it's actually better to bat first because if you actually score a huge total, at least 200, 220, you have that leeway of trying to defend it, and it's going to be
True.
the ballers, but like
Yeah.
I think it's easier than you know
Mm.
because RCB ballers you've seen them if they ball first they can still get scored like 200 250 runs anyways, like it's happened before, and at least trying to defend it 200 you know that you have to only ensure it's only 20 runs, right? So it's actually a bit of a mix.
I think it's either way, but I just think with the rain and DLS potentially coming in, you might want to bowl first. But regardless, with regards to the rain, everybody, I think where the three of us are from Bangalore, and there's some good news. At least there was rain predicted during the week. It hasn't poured exactly like it does in Bangalore, so
Waiting for
that's huh?
It's waiting for Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, I hope not, but yeah, it hasn't poured like it does in Bangalore. So that's good news for people who aren't from Bangalore and want to know a bit about the weather. So yeah, we're hoping it remains the same at least till Sunday morning. So that's that. Rishi, before we sign off, who wins?
I think RCB just about both.
Oh, nice. Adi?
Bro, I don't know. I'm telling you, I'm just going to sit and watch the match. I can't.
Bro, it's just see this is one of those very few games where like no matter how much you try to see okay what is best, what is not, it just comes down to a gauntlet match. Like whatever happens, it just happens. Like you can't there's not because I like at this point I feel there's not as much difference in the CSK and
Yeah,
RCB
I agree. I
lineups
agree.
also.
I agree. I agree. Yeah, exactly.
And like it's pretty much come down to a winner takes all match also.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just one of those games where just whoever steps up, steps up.
Yeah. I think it's very hard to call, like both of you say.
Yeah.
It's just very hard. Like to be fair, everything like all the factors favor CSK, right? Everything favors them anyways. They have a 2-point cushion. They have to.
Yeah, that way, yeah. If you look at it.
They have the net run rate is also better, so everything factors to them having.
For them, if it
But
rains,
I feel
they're
the
through,
dressing
so-
room, the dressing room atmosphere, the confidence favors RCB more. Like I don't think
Exactly.
any team has been more in form in the league than RCB right now.
Dude,
That's true.
That's fair, but like, see, confidence goes to a certain extent. It's all about factors like luck, Even you see India in the World Cup, they were the best team in the world, but
That's true.
on that day is when it matters. So like, it's
That's
about planning and how you execute your plan, and that's where it comes down to the players. And with this RCB team is weird. Like I can't expect them to back their whatever their thought process, their inputs in the game. So it's always going to be like it depends on how CSK show up that day and what side of RCB shows up that day. So I really can't say what is going to happen because I just don't know what to expect. Like even last year when you looked at RCB scoring 210 against GT, you would have expected them to just qualify because it's still 210. But then you see the way they ball, we still lost. Like that's the point. I just never know.
Fair enough. But yeah, very tough to call. Me, I think I'm just going to back my team. I think RCB qualify, they go through because I think momentum's on our side. I think there's all this is weirdly in a way it's just happening the way the WPL happened. You got some freak game against Mumbai and then you play the finals and you absolutely roll over Delhi. So I think there's some elements of that in it where you look down and out, but you just come back. Somehow this team just stays in it. And I think it's just all going RCB's way. And I hope it continues to happen. And yeah, let's see what happens tomorrow night, RCB versus CSK. This was our preview, guys. Thanks so much for joining. Like and share the video. Subscribe to SportsKhabri. See you.